Okay, hello, I am proud and happy to be here in the most famous information security conference in the world, Black Hat Asia 2016. My briefing will explain and discuss the Android commercial spyware applications and how to detect them. Who am I? My name is Mustafa Saad. I am from Egypt. I have been graduated from Faculty of Computer Engineering since 2003. I started working in mobile application development, Android, iOS, and the BlackBerry platforms since 2011. Then starting my postgraduate journey in mobile security since 2012. Also, I am a Udemy Premium instructor since 2014. In this presentation, we will cover the next topics. First, we will introduce the problem. Then, we will explain our proposed approach. We will answer the question of how the commercial spy developed and works. Then, we will demonstrate our disease approach, which I called chameleon spyware. After that, we'll demonstrate our medication approach, which I called Android Smart Fuzzer. And finally, we will conclude our results. What is commercial spy? Commercial spy applications are sold worldwide through the internet, and easily you can find them by just Google mobile spy for Android. The primary purposes of these applications, as announced through their websites, is to spy on your employees if you are a business owner, for parents to monitor their children, or even to catch a cheating wife or husband. Usually, these applications installed on the phone when the attacker is capable of gaining physical access to that device, and it can also be sent as a link through email or text, and recently can be installed through repackaging attack on the official and the third-party Android stores. Most of these apps have the ability to hide their launcher icon from your screen, making it difficult to be detected by the victim. Others go even further, requesting or requiring device admin, in which the app has access to pretty much anything on your phone to make the spyware impossible to remove or uninstall. Most of these apps deliver a command and control web page with an online account for registered customers to monitor their victims in real time. If you want to be an attacker using one of these commercial spy, so most cheaper one will be charge you $1 per month. The attacker who installed any of the commercial spies on his victim's cell phone will gain a horrible interception features, such as victim's contacts, cell phone IMEI and SIM card IMSI, call logs, SMS, recording calls, captured photos, control front and rear camera, location tracking, remote mic recording, and more and more. According to high rate installation of commercial spyware, which has increased in the last 2 years, as reported in Google Android Security Reports, Lacon Research Team Report, Alcatel-Lucent Mobile Malware Reports. So the result is commercial spyware websites considered as hidden markets that work out of Google magnifier. Our proposed approach to catch commercial spies was divided into 2 main parts. In part 1, I will answer practically with a demo how your sensitive information like your incoming call, outgoing call, and received SMS, can be intercepted and transmitted out to the commercial spy servers by developing a real spyware application, which I called Chameleon application. Chameleon, this name coming from the invisibility of the Chameleon application icon on the launcher screen, like most of real commercial spyware mechanisms hidden themselves, as I mentioned before. Chameleon application will give us a good chance to deeply understand and discover the techniques of attackers in intercepting these three privacies, and will lead us to stand on Android application layer weakness points. In part 2, I will introduce my automated fuzzing solution that I called Droid Smart Fuzzer. Droid Smart Fuzzer test cases will be based on the deep understanding of the Chameleon spyware, which we already developed. So you will see me as a double agent in this session. In part 1, I will act as a black hat hacker who is trying to intercept the victim's privacy, received SMS, incoming call, and outgoing call. And in part 2, I will act as a white hat hacker who is trying to detect the undetectable. So we'll start with the black hat. This is our part 1. Simply Android operating system, comprised of different software layers, Linux kernel layer, libraries and Android runtime layer, application framework layer, and application layer. Application layer is the final destination for the developer journey where his application is installed and run. This layer communicates with the underlying layers through different form of inter-process communication endpoints, IPC. These endpoints are the manifest or Android manifest.xml. This file, which contains the core information about the Android application packages, APKs. Activity is the user interface component built on the base activity class, which takes care of creating a window for the developer in which he can place his graphical user interface. Surface is an application component without a user interface that perform long-running operation in the background. Content provider acts as a programming interface to common shared data stores. Broadcast receivers. These are commonly found where applications want to register for system or application events. All registered receivers for an event are notified by the Android runtime once this event happens. For example, applications can register for the process outgoing call system event, which is fired once the Android user tries to dial a cell phone number. Our proposed Chameleon spy application simply based on registering a broadcast receivers for the next Android system events, received SMS, incoming call, and outgoing call. So once the victim received SMS or call or try to dial a cell phone number, our events will fire and the registered broadcast receivers will read these data and send it instantaneously to our cloud database. Here, we are registered the receivers for the three events, like the SMS received, and a new outgoing call, and the phone state. Phone state is for the incoming call. So our broadcast receivers are for the incoming SMS, outgoing calls, and incoming calls. Once the victim receives the SMS, our registered receiver will fire the on-receive method. This is the on-receive method on the broadcast receiver. And the on-receive method sends the content of the SMS to our cloud database. And the same for incoming and outgoing calls. It is the broadcast receiver for incoming call and outgoing call. So now we will see the demo for Chameleon Spyware. Now we already gained access to the victim cell phone, and I already downloaded the Chameleon Spyware application, and then I will install it. Nice one. Here is the Chameleon Spyware application. Now we have a physical access to the victim cell phone. Now we're installing our Chameleon Spyware application. This is the main activity. Once the application is installed, it will be hidden from the launcher screen. And the first thing this application is doing is reading the MZ for the victim cell phone and all contacts for this phone and the manufacturer information about this phone and send it to our cloud database. This is the first thing that happened when you install this spyware application. And also this application is, it will be uploaded with my presentation, so you're welcome to install it to be one of my victims. Now it's installed. Now we open the launcher, the screen launcher for the Android phone, and the no Chameleon application exists. This is like all of the commercial spyware applications. Okay, this is my cloud database. I will connect to the cloud database. We already have 5 tables. Table for victims, table for contacts, table for incoming calls, and table for outgoing calls, and table for received SMS. This is our 5 tables in the cloud database. So here is the victims, the MZ number, and the manufacturer information about the cell phone, and the phone number if it is applicable. Here is the contacts. We read all contacts and convert these contacts to a VCF file and then send this VCF file to our cloud database. So now I will open one of these VCF files. I will save it to my laptop as a VCF file, the vCard file. It will be asha.vcf. Then I will open this VCF file by one of the VCF viewer applications. You see, here is the all contacts of one of my victims. And now for the SMS, the received SMS, the broadcast receiver is fired. And when you receive the SMS, it's coming to my cloud database. As you see, we have a lot of SMSs coming from my victims, most of them in Arabic. Here's the outgoing call. Is the out number and the MZ for this victim. And now the incoming call. So the conclusion of Chameleon application development is we have registered a broadcast receivers which respond to broadcast messages, received SMS, incoming call, and outgoing call from the system itself. These messages are sometimes called events or intents. Now, whenever the Android device called or received SMS, started an out call or incoming call event, it will be intercepted by broadcast receiver classes. These system events will fire the implemented logic inside the onReceive method in these broadcast receivers that will be executed to send this information via the device internet capability out to our cloud database. This concept of broadcast receiver working mechanism will lead us to the mediation process. Also will give us the idea to uncover the behavior mask of any application intended to eavesdrop our privacy. Now, the white hat, the Droid Smart Phaser. We will take into consideration our deep understanding of the chameleon behavior and the technique for intercepting the user's privacy. So we will think like a white hat vulnerability testers. The main target is to develop a full automated fast testing solution, write a good test scenario, design this scenario to be a real fast testing environment for the applications that interested in one or more of the next permissions. Receive the SMS, process outgoing calls, and read phone state. This is for the incoming calls. Then analyze the behavior of the application under test in the response of these fuzzing scenarios. Now we'll talk about the proposed anti-spyware collaboration diagram for the Droid Smart Phaser. Our first step is to read all installed applications permissions. We filtered the installed applications according to one or more of their authorized permissions, again, received SMS, incoming call, and outgoing call. So now all commercial spyware applications will fall in this filter list. Now we'll prepare our fuzzing injectors. For SMS, this is our first injector. And the idea here is to implement a real SMS in BDU format. This BDU contains the message wake up. And this SMS data about itself, and then after preparing, BDU contains the message wake up, and this is this SMS data about itself, and then after preparing some metadata, we will broadcast it to the Android application layer. Simply, this is a handmade SMS. I already developed SMS with a BDU format. The content of this SMS is wake up. And then I broadcast this SMS to the Android application layer. So any application interested in received SMS or read the SMS, he will capture this SMS as a real one. And the second injector will be the outgoing call. We simply use action call event in the phone call functionality available in the Android triggered built device to force the cell phone to call itself. This is simply, I forced the phone to call itself. You know, if you try to call your cell phone number, it's just working for 4 seconds and they give you line or number is busy. And this is the idea. I force the phone to call itself to make a real environment of an outgoing call. And the last injector for the incoming call. The incoming call injector, I used the Cognalis Android library, which used commercially in mobile number verification, integrated Cognalis library in our Droid Smart Phaser project, gave us a good opportunity to inject the application under test with a real incoming call environment. And we'll see now with our demo. We will fuzz them by the previous injectors, then monitoring and recording the internet usage behavior according to these fuzzing injectors. The application that will pass stage 1 and gives a positive impact in consuming internet usage from any of the fuzz test cases will be spyware application. All of the commercial spyware websites announced that their spy application is 100% undetectable. As you see, this is one of the commercial spyware applications, MX Spy, and this website announced that this commercial spy is 100% undetectable. And this is a big challenge for Droid Smart Phaser to detect the undetectable. Now the demo. The demo will be between Droid Smart Phaser versus Hello Spy. And the Hello Spy is one of the commercial spyware applications. Take in your mind that I already installed Hello Spy since August or September 2015. For a demo version. They offer to the customer a demo version for 7 days. But the problem, after this demo version is running out, Hello Spy is still working on my mobile until now. And he's getting my privacy out until now. Here is our Droid Smart Phaser. This is the filter. We already read all installed application permissions. And if any of them have one or more of our interested privacies, incoming call, outgoing call, received SMS, we put it in our doubtful list. You see here we have a lot of commercial spyware applications. Now we will choose com.hellospy.system. This is the permissions of com.hellospy.system. And now we will fuzz this commercial spyware, Hello Spy. You see, I forced the phone to call myself. This is my number, Engineering Mustafa Saad. Line is busy. And then monitoring. This is a spy because it consumes the internet during the outgoing call. Now, for the handmade SMS, wake up SMS, spy, and here is the Cognalis server, the incoming call. See, these are the notifications. I have 3 privacies. This is spy on 3 privacies. Outgoing calls, received SMS, and incoming call. Now we'll do the same, but for one of the system application, to see if we have false negative or false positive. We'll choose com.android.email. Has 2 of our interested permissions. Received SMS. and the incoming calls. Now we'll fuzz the Android.email application. Now the handmade SMS, the wake up one, and the Cognalis for the incoming call. No spy alert. Okay, as you see, you have no notification about any spy for Android.email. This is a dashboard for Hello Spy. As you see, this number starting with plus is coming from Cognalis, and it's going directly to the Hello Spy dashboard. Okay, this is for incoming call, and this is my number for the outgoing call when I force the phone to call itself. And do you remember the wake up message, the handmade message? It's sent to the dashboard for Hello Spy. So it's a real SMS message. I already developed this SMS injector like a real one. So it's going to the dashboard for Hello Spy. We tested our Droid Smart Fuzzer against top 15 commercial spyware applications and 4 free spy applications on Google Play and Amazon stores. This is some of the commercial spyware applications. Droid Smart Fuzzer succeeded to detect all of them. Droid Smart Fuzzer is not only used to detect the commercial spy applications, but also has its success story in detecting one of Baidu applications, which is Baidu Map. Citizen Lab was announced in 23rd of last February that Baidu web browser application for the Android platforms transmits personal user data to Baidu servers. Android Smart Fuzzer also detects that Baidu Map for the Android platforms transmits personal user data during the incoming calls, and this result has been written in my paper, evaluation and result section. And here is com.baidu.map.location in the red rectangle. If you want to know how to develop Chameleon and Android Smart Fuzzer applications step by step, you can join my course, Android Spyware Disease and Medication English version on Udemy. Thank you, and sorry for exceeding my session planned time. And if there are any questions, you will easily find me around with my Egyptian flag hat, this one. Find me around with my Egyptian flag hat, so ask me as you can, and I will answer you as I can. Thank you.